deeply within our generation. My mission is to embody authenticity, relatability, and humor, ensuring that even the most challenging discussions become accessible and engaging, creating a space where listeners can feel understood and entertained simultaneously. Now, I'm so sorry, I'm kind of out of breath right now because I thought I was going to be late for my show today, so I was literally running from the car. Now, society and real life conversations. Let's talk about this. Is privacy dead in the social media age? Now, let's explore how oversharing has become normal. Now, it's not dead, but it's no longer the default, okay? In the pre social era, privacy was passive. Now, if you did nothing, most of your life stayed offline by design. Now, today, privacy is active. If you do nothing, your life bleeds into feeds, data brokers, ad profiles, and search results. Oversharing isn't a moral failure. It's the predictable outcome of platform design, attention economics, and a human psychology colliding. So, what do we even mean by privacy? Privacy isn't one thing, okay? It has layers. I'm going to give you four. Personal privacy, number one, what you keep to yourself, like feelings, health, finances. Number two, social privacy, who you choose to tell under what norms, like close friends versus public. Number three, platform privacy. So, how apps collect their data, info, and distribute your data, like settings, trackers, and algorithms. And number four, legal privacy, where rights and obligations under law, for example, South Africa's POPIA, EU's GDPR, California's CCPA, Now, when people say privacy is dead, they usually mean 2 to 4 layers have shifted so far that one layer feels impossible to protect. But you still have levers, and they just require intention. So here's how oversharing became normal. Now, number one, platform design, the nudges you do not notice. So frictionless posting, like camera to story to share in seconds, low friction invites impulse. Then inferior formats, like stories or status, feel temporary, but screenshots, device backups, and vault apps preserve them. Then default and dark patterns. Now, public or friends of friends may be the starting point. So, like opting out takes effort. Then gamified feedback. Likes, hearts, boost, and your post is performing better than 95% of your other posts. Messages encourage more intimate disclosure. Now, context collapse. One post may hit many audiences at once, okay? Like boss, cousin, ex, client, strangers. So, what feels casual can land professionally or permanently. Then the attention to economy, so why sharing pays. Data is currency. More detailed posts, better ad targeting to more platform revenue. Then intimacy sells. Audiences reward vulnerability creators, learn that personal performs. Then parasocial relationships. Followers feel they know you and expect ongoing access. Saying less can feel like betrayal of the relationship. And psychology, how our brains help the machine. Variable reward. Not every post gets traction, but the occasional big hit gives you and keeps you posting, like casino logic. That is casino logic. Then self-disclosure effect. Sharing about yourself creates warmth and trust. Great for connection, risky at scale. Then present bias, the buzz of how overweights the cost to future me. Then social proof, once you see others sharing pay slips, breakups, diagnosis, you adjust yourself of normal. And then social norms drift. TMI in 2012 is content in 2025. The acceptable perimeter keeps expanding, like the relationship drama, therapy notes, fertility journals, kids' milestones, addressable interiors, your house to lay out your street view, all now routine feed material. Now, here's what we lose when we overshare. Number one, safety, really important, like your live location, routines, school uniforms, number plates, running routes, it maps your movements. And then reputation and work. Now, posts live longer than context, like a snarky comment that can outlive the joke. And then negotiation power, like broadcasting your salary, rate, or personal constraints can weaken leverage if done without strategy. And then children's digital futures. Sharing. What is this? Now, kids inherit an online dossier that they didn't consent to, like faces, names, schools, and habits. Data brokerage. Public posts plus likes plus follows plus device data create profiles brought and sold beyond your control. And then emotional hangovers. Vulnerability posted in a low moment can become a permanent brand. Now, why people keep doing it? This is not just vanity. It is connection, like community support, crowdsourced advice, and belonging. It is opportunity, like jobs, clients, collaborations, personal stories, and that builds trust quickly. It's coping, because for many, sharing is cathartic and life saving, like grief, illness, recovery, abuse survival. Creativity by documenting life is a modern art form, and that can be really meaningful. So the answer is never share. It's share with intent, and the bit we tend to skip. Now, the privacy paradox, why people say they value privacy but behave as if they do not. Why? Convenience versus control. Now, privacy takes time and convenience is instant. Opaque systems like settings change, policies are dense, defaults favor exposure. Diffuse harm. The risk of probabilistic and delayed. Maybe it'll never bite me. And then social pressure. If I don't post, I'm irrelevant. If I don't show my kid, people will assume I'm cold. And then anatomy of post. The metadata you don't see. Every share potentially reveals your time and location, like your data, your visual clues, recurring routines, and then network ties like tags, comments, and mutuals, behavioral patterns where you're home away, but what you buy and who you support. Then environment, like house layout, valuables, neighborhood, security habits. Face and voice prints, usable for recognition across platforms, even if it's a never geotag. Context often recreates the map. Then high risk categories like red flags, live location, events, cafes, school gates, gyms, check ins. Children's identifiers like full names, school uniforms, and schedules. Legal medical matters, ongoing cases, diagnosis tied to identity, and then workplace or specifics like client lists, screens, confidential projects. Financials, cards and frames, exact income with full name, real time purchases. New assets like new car with plates, home address, visible, expensive gear near windows. The law helps, but can't save you from feeds. The POPIA South Africa aims to protect personal information and regulate processing. You can request access or correction, and organizations must secure data and report certain breaches. Then the GDPR in Europe, transparency, consent, purpose limitation, data minimization, right to access, erasure, portability, hefty penalties for misuse. And then the CCPA or CPRA in California and other regimes, right to know, delete, opt out of sale. Now, laws regulate organizations more than individual choices. They don't prevent you from oversharing, they kick in when someone else mishandles your data. Treat them as guardrails, not airbags. So, this is not legal advice. For specific cases, speak to a lawyer. Now, a practical way to talk about this with your audience. Now, green, generally safe. Thoughts like art, jokes, non identifying everyday moments, delayed travel, memories, sceneries, etc. Amber, which is context dependent. Money talk, relationships, ups and downs, venting about people, health journeys, workplace, and antidotes. Red, avoid. Now that means live location, children's identifiers, addresses, plates, precise schedules, legal disputes, and raw medical documents. Now, the 5D posting framework. Number 1, decide. The audience, public, followers, close friends, or do not post. Number 2, delay by hours or days. Post after you've left and after emotions call. Number 3, distill the story to the feeling, not the identifying detail. Number 4, demetadata, crop plates, blur badges, remove EXIF where possible. And number 5, delegate boundaries. Have a poster charter. We don't show children's faces. Thanks for understanding. A privacy reset checklist like radio mini workshop. So turn off precise location for social apps. Check camera permissions. Audit profile fields like remove your phone or email unless business critical and use business inbox. Then create a close friends or broadcast list for sensitive updates. Clean the grid by removing posts that show address, school badges, routine routes. And enable 2FA, which is two-factor authentication, and use unique passwords via a manager. Delay travel posts until you are back. Avoid bordering pass shots. Teach a house rule, like no faces plus no places without permission. Review third-party app connections by revoking anything you do not use. Switch off contact syncing if you don't need it, and set up alerts for your name brand to catch impersonation early. Now, here are special cases worth unpacking, honestly, okay? Number 1 is sharing parents posting kids. Risks, right? Identity, safety, future embarrassment, images reused out of context. Here's better practice. Initials instead of full names, wide shots or back of the head, delay posts, private family album apps, ask older children for consent, and keep school logos out of the frame. Number 2, creators, influencers, and small business owners pressure access equals growth. Now, counter, set content boundary charter and say it out loud. For like examples, I don't show my home exterior or my child's face. I post travel only after I've left. I don't share medical documents. I share lessons learned. And I use business WhatsApp or email. My personal number is private. And audiences respect clarity, and the right ones stay. Now, number 3 is dating and relationships, like breakups, new partners, ring reveals, highly engaging, highly risky. Ask yourself, am I posting to connect or to convince? And also protect your partner's privacy and don't post identifying details without consent. And number 4, communities and WhatsApp groups. Screenshot of private groups are still private communications. Like forwarding without consent breaks trust, and in some contexts, the law or platform rules treat DMs and groups as consensual spaces and not content mines. And number 5, mental health and medical journeys. If sharing helps, consider time-shifted storytellings like share after processing, remove hospital names, doctor faces, and file numbers. Focus on resources and coping strategies over raw documents. But if I don't share, I'll disappear. Now, 3 main practical responses. Number 1, separate intimacy from identifiability. Now, you can be warm without being exposed. So tell a story, omit the coordinates. Number 2, bold formats that aren't biographical, like interviews, explainers, reviews, challenges, caller stories. You're present, but not mind. And number 3, be predictable in content, not in routine. Post as predictable times and not in predictable places. Now, privacy hasn't died. The burden has moved from the platform to the person. Share the feeling of the moment and not the metadata. Free apps aren't free. They are subsidized by your habits. Your future self is a stakeholder in today's post. Boundaries are not walls. They are signposts. Now, here are common myths and quick counters. The myth: I'm not famous, no one cares. Reality. Data brokers and bad actors don't need fame, only patterns. A myth. My account is private, so I'm safe. Reality. Screenshots travel, followers churn, settings change. The myth. I turned off my location so photos reveal nothing. Reality. Visual clues, press routines, recreate the map. A myth. If it's illegal, platforms will remove it. Reality. Removal is slow. Copy spread, search catches, lingers. Myth. I'll delete it later. Reality. Deletion doesn't retract downloads, archives, or scrapes. Now, a few mini stories, anonymized composites. Okay, now the live location selfie. Now, a creator posted in a quiet cafe with a recognizable street view. Now, a follower popped in to say hi. Meant well, felt invasive. Now, the fix. Post after leaving and crop surroundings. Number 2. The first day photo. Uniform plus badge plus name board. A relative reshared publicly. And parents switched to initials and private album the next year. And then the vent about a client. A freelancer ranted the client's friends follow them. Now that lost the contract. So rant offline and share lessons, not identities. Number 4, misread intimacy. Regular late night lives grew big parasocial bonds. When the creator set boundaries, a minority felt betrayed. The way to fix that is set the charter early, repeat it kindly. So building a healthier culture beyond individual fixes. So normalize saying no, like model consent. Ask before tagging or posting someone else's child. Design pressure. Praise platforms that offer privacy by default, character, and clear controls. Community standards. Call out doxing, stalking, and sharing of private info is uncool, not just unlawful. Education. Teach kids that audience and longevity are part of posting. Who sees it and for how long? So, the question is privacy dead? Or are we just giving it away for likes? What is the most personal thing you've ever posted and do you regret it? Now, perform nudges, attention economy, psychology, define context collapse, and privacy paradox. Now, there's a question where you have to question yourself, how do I handle relatives who overshare my kids? Is private account enough? I'm a creator. How do I set boundaries without tanking engagement? So you need to normalize consent and how to push back on doxing and what a good platform design looks like. Now, when it comes to a brief history of how privacy before social media became, to understand why oversharing feels normal now, we have to remember it wasn't always this way, okay? Like pre-internet era, privacy was mostly a geographical and social era. If you lived in Durban, your personal life was easy. It wasn't easily accessible to someone in Cape Town unless they knew you personally. Gossip stayed local. If you wanted to share, it meant phoning someone or telling them in person. Even celebrities had fewer invasive moments, like paparazzi needed to physically find them, and photo distribution was really slow. Then early internet in the 1900s to the 2000s. Chat rooms, forums, and emails meant we could share, but audiences were smaller and more contained. Blogs emerged while still mostly text-based, often semi-anonymous. Facebook's early days, 2004 to 2008, were limited to specific networks like universities, the regions, giving a false sense of security. Now the turning point, which was 2010 to 2015. Instagram, Snapchat, and WhatsApp made instant photo or video sharing the default. Follower count became a social status metric. Influencer culture began personal disclosure equals trust equals monetization. Stories and live streaming brought real-time sharing into the mainstream. So now, 2020 to 2025. Short form video like TikTok Reels means oversharing can go viral overnight. Geotagging is near automatic. Transparency is a brand value, so sharing personal struggles feels like a requirement for relatability. Now, why oversharing feels normal? Now, the cultural shift. We've all blurred the line between personal and public. In the past, public meant newspapers, TV, or speaking on stage. Now, public is a quick selfie for your 500 followers, but those followers include work colleagues, neighbors, and strangers. B. Social capital is tied to disclosure. The more you share, the more relatable you seem. Platforms reward vulnerability with more engagement, especially emotional posts. C. Generational normalization. Gen Z has shown up with constant documentation. They see online identity as a part of self. Older generations have adapted, but often without understanding the long term implications. If you didn't post it, it didn't happen culture. Events feel incomplete without photos or videos online. The pressure to document can override the instinct to protect privacy. The psychology behind oversharing: dopamine loops. Likes, shares, comments equals micro dopamine hits. Variable reward schedules, like not every post goes viral, people get hooked. Then, self disclosure theory. Sharing personal details can create intimacy in a healthy relationship, and that is good. But on a mass scale, it's risky because the relationship with your followers isn't balanced. Then FOMO, fear of missing out. If others are sharing, you feel the pressure to keep up. Otherwise, you risk being left out of conversations or trends. Present bias. The emotional payoff now, like likes and validation, outweighs concerns about future consequences. The platform of mechanics that drive oversharing. A. Algorithm design. Posts that keep people scrolling are boosted, often ones with strong emotion or intimate content. The system doesn't care if the content harms your privacy, it cares about retention and engagement. B. Default settings. Many apps default to public or share onto the multiple networks unless you manually opt out. C. Social comparison features. Notifications like you have more views than 90% of your posts encourage further posting. D. Inferior features. Stories, disappearing messages. The lower our guard, even though the content can be saved or recorded. Now, real world consequences of oversharing, like number 1A, safety risks. Live location posts can make stalking or burglary easier. Showing expensive purchases can attract opportunistic crime. B. Reputation and career. Screenshots from private groups can leak. Jokes, rants, or political statements can resurface years later and be misinterpreted. C. Financial harm. Scammers use information from posts to guess passwords or impersonate you. Criminals can create synthetic identities with just bits of data from different posts. D. Emotional toll. Like negative feedback on personal posts can cause a lasting anxiety. Public exposure during vulnerable times like breakup, grief can amplify trauma. E. Children's rights. Parenting, as I mentioned before, creates a digital footprint for a child before they can consent. And future embarrassment. Images used out of context can resurface during teenage years. Now, here is why privacy feels like it's dying. Default exposure. If you do nothing, your life is online. Friends tag you, apps track you. Cultural expectation. Transparency is marketed as authenticity. Invisibility of risk. You don't see the data brokers, the cached images, or the silent watchers. Monetization of personal life. For many, privacy is traded for income, influence, or networking. So, is privacy truly dead? The real answer is no, it's not. But it's a choice now. It's not an accident. In 1990, you had to actively share to be public. In 2025, you have to actively protect yourself to be private. Now, here is a practical framework. Share with intent. The 5D rule, as I also did mention before. Decide your audience. So, public, friends only, close friends, or no post at all. Delay posting, especially location-based content, until you've left. Distill the post to emotion or message, not identifying details. De-identify, remove names, blur faces, crop out plates, uniforms, and addresses. And delegate boundaries. State them upfront, bio captions so people respect them. So here's where we might be heading. Through stronger privacy laws, like more countries following the GDPR-style rules. Cultural backlash, people tiring of overexposure and seeking quiet lives. Privacy platforms, new networks built around control and not virality. Digital literacy as a life skill, taught in schools much like reading and maths. And AI risks, deepfakes and voice cloning making consent and control even more important. Anyway, I will be back right after the quick ad break where we will be talking about oversharing done right, smart sharing strategies. I'll see you soon.
Surrounded by dark, I can't live that again. I'm asking Rabbim, please have mercy on me and take it easy on my heart. Wasn't always on
Radio Al-Ansar, Durban, 90.4 FM. Pietermaritzburg, 105.6 FM.
J. Junaid Jamshed's Freedom Sale is now live. Now avail a flat 25% off and flat 50% off on all items. Avail the most exciting offers from 7th August till 17th August 2025. Or shop online at za.junaidjamshed.com.
Get ready for an evening of inspiration and impact. Join Islamic Lifestyle Solutions for their annual fundraising dinner, Dawa Dimensions, featuring a powerful book launch, Divine Calling, How God Addresses Humankind in the Quran, and spiritually uplifting Tira and Qasaid with Daf by Sheikh Noor Aswad. Plus, exciting prize giveaways, including a free Umrah ticket and a 7-course meal. Friday, 15th August 2025 at NMJ Islamic Center, 6 p.m. Tickets only 250 Rand, no reserved seating. Don't miss out. Book now.
You know what really gets under my skin? When my cake or icing just doesn't come out right. It's such a bummer. But I found this incredible margarine called Wooden Spoon, and it's been a total lifesaver for my baking adventures. It makes my icing turn out just perfect every time. When I whip up something with Wooden Spoon, I feel like a master baker. Seriously, my cakes have never looked better. The secret? Wooden Spoon margarine. It's like the magic ingredient for nailing those perfect bakes. And guess what? It's even endorsed by the South African Bakers Guild Association. Just another quality product from the Willowton Group.
اللهم إنك ترى ما نزل بنا في غزة من الأحوال يا ذا الجلال والعزة يا ذا الجبروت والعزة اللهم أعز أهل غزة اللهم فرج عن أهل غزة اللهم فرح أهل غزة اللهم انصر أهل غزة اللهم داوي جريحهم اللهم اشف مريضهم اللهم اقبل شهيدهم اللهم ارحم ميتهم اللهم كفف جراحاتهم وبرد آلامهم اللهم واجعل لهم وللمسلمين فرجا قريبا يا الله اللهم فرج عنا وعن المسلمين في كل مكان اللهم انصر الإسلام وأعز المسلمين واخذل الشرك والمشركين ودمر أعداء الدين يا رب العالمين سبحانك سبحانك ترى الظالمين فتمهلهم حتى يظنوا أنك تهملهم وتبتلي الصالحين في الدنيا حتى يستيئسوا فإن استيئسوا أتيتهم بنصرهم اللهم إنك تعلم أن جراحات المسلمين كثيرة وآلامهم كثيرة في كل مكان وفي كل زمان اللهم فانصرنا على أعدائنا يا الله اللهم فثبت أقدامنا يا الله
Radio Al-Ansar, 24/7, 365.
It's Ria Mahomed here, hosting the Next Gen show on Radio Al Ansar. with each new episode premiering every Thursday from 2 to 3 p.m. My audience is invited to partake in this enriching journey, expecting a blend of insight, humor, mental health, trends, and relevance that is offered, guarantees a listening experience that is both enlightening and enjoyable, promising a journey not to be missed. Ria Mahomed from Next Gen. Okay, beautiful souls, it is me, Ria Mahomed, back live on Next Gen, and we are going to be talking about oversharing done right, the smart sharing strategies. Now, number one, delayed travel diaries. What happened? Now, a Durban travel blogger made it clear in her bio. I just post trips after I'm home. Thanks for respecting that. She still shared Vibe in Trouble content, but it was always posted a week later, and she never tagged accommodation until after checkout. And why did this work? Audience still enjoy the content and zero live location risk. And what's the lesson from this? Delayed posts don't kill engagement, it builds intrigue. Where was this taken? And then cropped kid moment. What happened? A parent wanted to share a sweet breach of photo of their toddler. Instead of showing the child's face, they posted a back-facing shot with a caption about the day. The post got high engagement, people focused on the story and not the identifiable details. And why did this work? It protected the child's identity and kept emotional impact. Now, the lesson from this is angles, silhouettes, and close-ups of hands or feet can tell a story without exposing the person. And then 3, the redacted achievement post. What happened? A young professional got a new job offer and wanted to celebrate online. They posted about their excitement but blurred out the company logo and offer lesser details. They tagged only the industry and not the company to avoid unsolicited contact. Now, why did this work? She avoided doxing by strangers and kept the celebration intact. And the lesson from this is that you can share milestones without oversharing. Focus on emotion and not raw data. The composite story technique. What happened? A mental health advocate wanted to talk about burnout without revealing their employer. They combined aspects of their own experience with anonymized examples from friends, creating a composite story. The lessons were real, but no one could trace them to a specific person or company. And why did this work? It protected all parties and maintained authenticity and relatability. The lesson from this is blending stories or speaking in general themes still gets the message across while avoiding harm. Now, here's how you can use these on air. Present one gone wrong and one done right example back to back and show contrast. Invite listeners to share their oversharing stories. I want you to do this. Now, I wanted to talk about the fact that do we judge people too quickly? Social media snap judgments versus real life impressions. Now, the core question is, as I said, do we judge people too quickly, especially online? The short answer is yes, because our brains are built for speed. Social media is built for snap takes, and the cues we use are online and partial, polished, and often misleading. In real life, impressions evolve. Online, they freeze. Now, I'm going to give you parts. Part 1 is how first impressions actually work, thin slicing. Humans can form impressions of warmth, competence, and intent milestones. And it's an evolutionary shortcut, like quick reads kept our ancestors safe. Then offline, those fast reads are quickly updated by ongoing cues like voice, timing, micro expressions, shared context, and mutual friends. Now, here's why the brain rushes. Cognitive load. Your mind conserves energy by using heuristics like mental shortcuts, negativity bias. Potential threats get more attention than neutral positives. Confirmation bias. Once we've got the first take, we filter into new info, and that's how we protect it. Fundamental attribution error. We overcredit someone's character under the credit their context, like she's rude versus she's under pressure. Now, offline versus online. Now, offline, cue rich, tone, pace, eye contact, posture, often how someone enters a room. Online, cue poor, But signal loud. One photo, one caption, follower count, a few comments, and boom, we decide. Part 2. Why social media supercharges snap judgments. Number 1. Design for speed. Like infinite scroll plus short form video means we evaluate someone's 1 to 3 second or we swipe. Platforms literally train us to judge fast. Number 2, context collapse. One post faces every audience at once, like gran, boss, ex strangers. A joke for mates to look outrageous to HR. We judge without shared context. Number 3, aesthetics as a truth. Lighting, lenses, filters, editing, background, interiors, even font choices act as status signals. Read polished as competent and messy, as unreliable even when it's about equipment and not character. Number 4, matrix equals moral cues. Like blue tick, follower count, views, and like ratio feel like evidence of credibility, and they are not. They are evidence of distribution and not virtue. Comment herding. Early comments set the tone. If the first 10 are negative, the rest pile on bandwidth effect. A decent post can look dodgy purely by crowd mood. Number 6, asymmetric risk. It's cheap to judge, expensive to repair, and a flippant quote tweet can get 10,000 impressions. The correction gets 10% of that. Part 3, the most common snap judgment traps. Halo or horns effect. One striking trait colors the whole person. Like if you're attractive, you're smart. One awkward clip means you're an awful human being. Now, out of group homogeneity, they all seem the same. We are nuanced. Online, anonymous avatars make this worse. Then language or accent bias. Grammar slips, code switching, or a strong accent gets misread as low competence. I get that. Then moral outrage reflex. We reward hot takes, we punish norms. Ambiguity, intolerance. A vague post triggers the harshest possible interpretation. Recency illusion. The last thing you saw becomes the truth, even if it's an outlier. Part 4. What real-life impressions do better. Repair loop, you can clarify instantly, sorry, I meant, then multiple channels, tone softens words, smile softens edges, and shared activity builds trust. Repeated contact. Real trust forms over time. Consistency beats the single moment. Costly signals. Showing up, keeping time, helping behaviors harder to fake than a polished grind. Part 5, real-world vignettes. You can read on air. Number 1, the 2-second scroll. You see a young guy in a designer hoodie, captioned another late night. First thought, lazy influencer vibes. You scroll, context. Here's a junior doctor on a call. Same photo, different truth. Number 2, the grammar police. A woman posts a long thread with a few typos. Comments roast her. Later you learn she's dyslexic. Sharing a life-saving tip about medication interactions. We judged her proofreading, not her point. And number 3, the rude cashier. Offline tale. A cashier is short with you. Snap judgment. Rude. Later, you learn that they were closing alone after a coworker collapsed. Context converts character. So use this as setup to judgment to reveal to lesson beats. And part 6, practical frameworks for you plus your listeners, okay? For readers or scrollers, slow your judgment, okay? SLOW. S, suspend the verdict. So counter 5 before reacting. L, look for missing context. What I don't know, who else is involved. O, offer alternatives. At least 2 other explanations. And W, wait to weigh in. Sleep on it if it's heated. The 3 C's, context, competence, and character. Context. Could there be a reasonable backstory? Competence. Is this person speaking inside or outside their expertise? Character. Am I judging their whole character off one moment? So the comment hygiene RAFT, RAFT, R, read twice. A, ask a question. F, fact checked the claim and not the vibe. And T, tone check before you post. Anyway, it's time to wrap up. So I will be seeing you next week, Thursday, the 21st of August, inshallah.